day that Jay Cutler actually beat Ronnie Coleman, you could hear a collective passing of the torch. The crowd shift. It just really went straight to Jay. I think a lot of people were making up for the 2001 victory that Jay should have got that he didn't get. People were cheering for the upset. We've seen so much of Ronnie Coleman that eventually, like Mike Tyson, you tune in to hopefully see the champ get knocked out.
The younger version of you is lurking out there somewhere. And, you know, you're going to meet that hellfire person, you know, so it happens.
I was fed up. You know, I wasn't sure how much longer I could keep getting second place. And my whole family came out. You know, I always had my family there, my brothers, sisters, everyone came out. Family, friends, I think I bought 100 tickets for that event that year.
Ronnie came in off. Ronnie doubted himself that night. And I remember being backstage and seeing it, you know, unfold. You know, when you compete at that level, you can kind of sense and see. You get to know people's personalities and their approach and everything. And Ronnie just showed up as a different Ronnie that night.
Ronnie was going for 9 and didn't get 9. Jay Cutler beat him.
The Olympia gold medal to the 2006 Mr. Olympia, Jay Cutler!
When Jay knocked out the champ, it validated years of work that Ronnie Coleman had done before him. And there's not a champion out there that's not susceptible to getting knocked out and getting beaten. We've seen it happen. We saw Mike Tyson lose. We saw Muhammad Ali lose. And we saw Ronnie Coleman lose to Jay.
The night I beat Ronnie, 2006, it was a flash. He knew he was going to lose, and I think he didn't think that until the very end because he was Ronnie Coleman. He hadn't lost in a very long time.
I thought it was pretty much automatically that I was going to win number 9 because I had won like 8 in a row. So like, you know, you come up go for number 9 and like, okay, those 8 were, you know, I worked hard for them. So I'm thinking, you know, number 9 just going to be a breeze.
I, you know, won on that stage, and it was the first time in history that a Mr. Olympia was beaten on that stage.
When Ronnie Coleman was beaten by Jay Cutler, it took a little bit of the shine off. I can only imagine Ronnie Coleman being Mr. Olympia for like 8 times, and then he loses to a guy that he was routinely beating in head-to-head competition.
You know, in the end, it happened. You know, Jay took him, but that wasn't Ronnie at his best. You know, the injuries had shown up, and you know, he was battle-worn by that time.
I didn't beat the best Ronnie Coleman ever. I don't want people ever to think like, oh, well, Ronnie was at his best and Jay was at his best. It's not the case. I just was better that day. You know, time was creeping up. He was going for his record number 9. A lot of publicity going into the show. But I felt bad for Ronnie. I felt bad winning, which is weird. Because, you know, it was everything to him. You know, and he was going for number 9. It was the record to beat Lee Haney's record. And he was upset. You know, he was visually upset.
My name is Mike Heisey. I'm an orthopedic surgeon with Texas Back Institute, and I specialize in spine surgery. So Ronnie came to me from a friend of mine who has known him and has worked out with Ronnie for years and years. And when he had a particular problem with his back that Rob knew that I knew how to operate on, he referred Ronnie to me. And it's an advanced stage of really degeneration, wear and tear, and that's from all of the weight he's been putting through his back over the years. So it had worn out the discs. And he had had operations before I met him to try and unpinch some of the nerves and make room for the nerves, and then ultimately an attempt at trying to hold the bones still that didn't heal up. So we tried to do another operation to get him to heal up and try and improve his alignment. These are the artificial hips now. They're already in by the time I met him. There's one of them and the other. And then you can see the screws, and you can see how collapsed this disc is. We were able to lift it up some. Got his alignment a little bit better. Now he's got this spacer in here. This is lifted up. We were able to get that one lifted up. You see how collapsed this was. We weren't able to get this one pulled back as far as I hoped, but some. And this looks like it's on the CAT scan. Looks like it's healed. We were able to get the nerves unpinched at that level. Disc is okay, but the joint is wearing to some degree. We see this all the time. Not all of our patients are competitive bodybuilders. It's a common problem, but he puts himself at higher risk. You know, some of the people are going to get it because of their genetics. It's years, miles, and your activity. And his activity, I think, is what put him at the risk. And it's what he lives for, so we're just taking care of it.
Doctor said he's going to go in and perform a surgery in which he's going to take out screws, because from that nerve block shot that I had, the pain went away for a whole day. And that showed that the hardware was causing the pain, those screws. Screws just there just to hold the fusion in place. They fused my discs together. They've been there almost 2 years. They've pretty much done their job. All they're doing now is just causing me pain.
He's still working out, obviously. He's still in the gym.
I don't think he'll ever stop.
And is that? Do you think it's a positive thing, or would you recommend it or not?
If I had to pick just for his back, it's probably not the best thing. But for his overall well-being, I think he needs to. Step in the room, we'll check out your nerves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's your wife today?
She's get the kids.
Just scooch on back there. Lift your big toes up for me. Hold them up real strong. Real strong. You're a little weak on this one still.
Yeah, that one's real weak.
Okay, push down strong, down towards the floor strong. That's much better. How about hold it up straight? Hold that up real strong, straight, straight, straight. Hold this one up real strong, straight, straight, straight. Oh, that's gotten so much better.
Yeah.
That's gotten so much better. So much better. Yeah, that's perfect. That may not come back.
That ain't gonna come back.
That may not come back.
That ain't worked in a whole lot of years.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that one work.
I don't think this does either.
No. Yeah, he's an amazing guy in terms of being able to work through things. But with this operation, with as much time as we had to spend, it's not uncommon to have weakness on the leg on the side we go in. And so he had that, and that's been getting better, but it certainly was an issue for him early on post-op. I don't think he's done with treating his back by any means, but I think he is on his way. His recovery, I think, is better than average for what he had to start with. It's not perfect. There may come a time when he wants to try and get it a little bit better, in which case we might extend it up and get a few more levels above or below to correct his overall alignment. I don't think it's going to do anything about getting strength back, but it may help with pain, and it may help him stand up a little bit taller.
What happened was they put in 4 screws because the discs were shifting forward and pushing up against my nerves, so they had to clamp them together, and they used these screws. Anyway, those screws ended up breaking. In the process of breaking, they broke bones in my back, you know, and then the pain got so bad where I couldn't even walk. Hey guys, what's going on? Big Ron here, coming live to you from the Ronnie Coleman Recovery Center.
You know, a lot of people that go through this kind of surgery tend to have the mindset that they may be in a wheelchair. And they say people like that who eventually do go to a wheelchair never get out. And they could, but it's just a mental, thing that they have, and it's never occurred to Ronnie.
I'm ready to take off. Take off his flight in a second here.
Put some nitrous on that wheelchair.
So I stayed in the hospital for like a whole month, trying to get better and trying to deal with the pain. And this is what I get early in the morning for the next day's meal. I'll be having cranberry juice. It was real bad, but I made it through all that, and I started out in a wheelchair, did that for a while, then I graduated to a walker, did that for a while, and then I got to the point where I got the crutches, doing that for a while, and I'm still on crutches, but for the most part, I can walk around the house like short distances, but I use the crutches for like when I have to walk for like long distances and stuff like that, so. I can say I've come a long way. The 6 and 7 year old, they're kind of like figure skaters, both of them. Susan, of course, she's a lot older, so she's a national level competitor.
This family comes first. We're the ones he chose.
Lolo, give me a huggy.
He's very good with them. He's very patient.